This morning was a little rough. My brain just took a long time to wake up this morning, which is not usually like that. Um, Started making my coffee in my Nespresso without the mug underneath. So that was my morning so far, but it's okay. We're gonna go in and swim. Alright, so I am at day 1 of water survival. I didn't ask to bring the camera in, I forgot, so I'm probably not going to bring it in, and maybe just ask, and hopefully I could bring it in tomorrow and just like show you some actual footage. If not, I'm just going to be talking about what we did at the end of every day, so yeah. Okay, my eyes are so red. Oh my god, do you see that? So today was pretty easy. You just kind of get in and you do like a little classroom learning for like 20 minutes, and then you get into the pool. So they had us do just like basic stuff like breaststroke down, side stroke back, backstroke down, front crawl back, and we just like did some laps. We did jump from the tower with no gear on or anything, just like to practice it. And we did a little bit of the prone float and a little bit of treading, and we did all of that in 2 hours. So I got here at 7 and it is now, it's like a little after 9. Yeah, it's like 9:15. So we were just here for 2 hours today. If you have contacts, definitely bring a case to take them out. I did bring a case luckily, but like still, oh, my eyes just get super irritated. Tomorrow, I found out we can wear goggles tomorrow. So today we weren't allowed to wear goggles anyways. I didn't bring them, but tomorrow I will definitely be bringing goggles to try to like get rid of some of this. I will see you for day 2. Guys, my eyes are not red today. We got to wear our goggles. Something that I didn't mention yesterday. So the first day that you do swim, you are allowed to basically tell the instructors, hey, I'm not a good swimmer. Can you put me in remedial swim? And remedial swim is just going to be an extended period of water survival. So instead of doing it for like the 6 days, I think you're doing it for 10. So it gives you like a little bit more one-on-one with the instructor if you don't feel super comfortable in the water. And it's super important to tell the instructor that on the first day of water survival. If you do it any other day, then you could get a pink sheet. If you're not aware about pink sheets, it's basically a piece of paper you get that is pink per the name. And you can get it for like disciplinary actions or if you fail an event. So you don't want those. I think the max you can get is like 2 or 3. It kind of depends on your reason for getting them and how you are as a student in flight school. But it is just really important to tell the instructor the first day of water survival if you're not a strong swimmer, and don't let your pride get in the way. There's plenty of people who go into remedial swim, so don't be ashamed of it. Like I said, if you do it the first day, there's no consequences. If you do it after that, then there could be consequences. And throughout the evolution of the water survival training, the instructors are kind of watching you to make sure that you look comfortable in the pool. If you are doing a stroke completely wrong, or if you just look very panicked, then they're going to pull you out and they're going to tell you themselves, hey, you're going to go into remedial swim. You need a little bit more work. Come on, focus. Today we did a little bit more classroom learning, like watching a video on the strokes and such. And then we got in the pool and we did a 2-minute float, 2-minute tread and 5-minute prone float with just our bathing suits on. And then we did a 2-minute tread, 5-minute float with the flight suit on and the boots on. There's like people walking by right now and I'm getting super self-conscious because I hate recording in front of people, but you just gotta do it. We also practice underwater swimming in our flight suit. So when you do the tower jump, you have to jump from the tower and then swim underwater to this like black line in the pool. I think they said it's like 25 yards maybe. So we practice just doing the underwater swim portion. So for that, you're wearing your flight suit and your boots, and basically the trick is you have to just like go as far down to the pool as you can and do it at a 45-degree angle about, and that will get all of the air out of your flight suit. Otherwise, if you don't go deep enough, then you're just going to keep like floating up, and it's going to be really hard for you to stay under that entire yard length. And then if you don't go in at that 45-degree angle, then you won't get all of the bubbles out of your flight suit, and then you'll still just float up. So those are the tricks for that. After that, we just did like a practice endurance swim. So I think we swam for like 15 minutes. And they just like called out different strokes, like, oh, hey, do the front crawl. And we were just swimming around in the perimeter of the pool clockwise. Yeah, today was pretty easy again. I think tomorrow we begin graded events. So I will see you for day 3. Alright, day 3, and like clockwork, we are out at 9 o'clock. So again, just here from 7 to 9. We did not do any classroom stuff this morning. We just jumped right into the pool. We started putting on our flight suit, boots, gloves, and vest. We did a 2-minute tread, and then I think a 5 or 6 minute prone float. We did the tower jump today. So the tower jump, we just did it with the flight suit and the boots. Normally you get 3 tries to pass the tower jump, but we all passed today, so they just counted that for our like grading sheet. So we won't have to do the tower jump anymore. We did a lot of brushstroke practice, and then we went into an endurance swim. We swam for about 20 minutes, and they basically just called out different strokes like crawl, side stroke, brushstroke. That was my friend. She's laughing because I'm videoing in my car. The endurance swim is tough. Mainly because like there's so many people that are swimming in the pool at the same time. It's just like a fucking wake the entire time, and you're like getting water in your mouth every time you turn to the side. But it's kind of one of those things you just like struggle together. You all just do it and you struggle together. Now the endurance swim that we're doing, it's basically just practicing for the mile swim. So the mile swim, you have, I think, 80 minutes max to complete it, and most people finish it under an hour. You can do either the freestyle, or excuse me, the crawl, the side stroke, or the breaststroke. When you're doing your mile swim, you can change strokes as much as you want. But yeah, that is it for day 3. Tomorrow, Thursday, day 4, and I will see you again. Alright, today was a good day. Today is day 4 of water survival. I'm actually leaving the pool smiling today, whereas yesterday I was just gassed. Today we started off putting on all of our gear, so flight suit, boots, gloves, and helmet. We did a 2-minute tread and then a 7-minute float. The tread was kind of tough with all of the gear. I mean, it's meant to get your heart rate up and kind of tire you out. But then the float, you really just have to focus on getting your heart rate down. And it's hard for the first few times that you try to do the prone float. But once you kind of get the hang of it and you're just slowing, controlling your breathing, it's a lot easier. And it's also so much easier with the helmet because the helmet floats. So versus yesterday when we did it without the helmet and you were literally like sinking with your gear, we had the helmets today, and you just have to sit there in the water and like your head bobs because the helmet floats. So that was it for the treading and floating. We all passed. And after that, we practiced some breaststroke. So we did the breaststroke in that entire gear as well, maybe like 100 yards. And then we finished with some endurance swimming. So we swam for 25 minutes today. And most of the time we were able to do whatever stroke we wanted to. So I stuck with breaststroke just because you can do that like indefinitely. And then sometimes the instructors called out which stroke they wanted you to do. So sometimes they called out, do the crawl stroke, do the side stroke. But the endurance swim is also your time to like practice your proficiency at the stroke. So don't so much focus on it being like a timed event. Really take that time and utilize it as like stroke practice, because I wasn't as proficient in the breaststroke when I started. I would kind of resort to the side stroke more, but whenever we were doing the endurance swims, I kind of knew that I had to work on the breaststroke, so I would work on it, and now it feels much better. Like I just feel way more efficient when I'm kicking my legs. I feel like I go much farther. So don't just stick with what you're comfortable with. The endurance swims are not graded events. It's just to build up your confidence in swimming for the mile swim. So use them to your advantage to practice what you don't feel as comfortable with. So that was it for day 4, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5. So clearly I did not just get back from water survival. I forgot my camera, so I'm just going to record day 5 now. So I had to type it out because we did a lot today. Today we just kind of went through, got it done fast. Again, we showed up at 7 today and we left at 9:30, so another quick day. We started off doing a 100-yard breaststroke in just our bathing suit, so no gear on at all. Next we put on all our gear, so flight suit, gloves, boots, vest and helmet, and we did a 75-yard breaststroke. Then we took off everything except our flight suit and boots, and we practiced the wave blocking method. So basically you're pretending like there's a bunch of ocean waves, so every time you come up for air you have to turn your face to the side, and then you put your hand right here to block the wave. I don't actually think that would work. I mean, if there's a wave coming, I don't think this is just going to create an air pocket for me to breathe, but that's what they teach you. Next, we practiced an oil burning simulation. So we're pretending that there's a layer of burning oil on top of the water. You have to kind of stay underwater for a second and like feel with your fingertips to reach the surface, and then you splash forward, backward, and then side to side to create a clear area for you to come up, take a quick breath, and then dive back down. Then we practiced trouser inflation. So this is when you are treading and you have to take off your trousers and use them as a life vest. So first you take off your trousers, you tie the legs together at the end so that you're making basically a loop with your trousers. First way is you hold the trousers out in front of you like you are putting on a pair of pants. You swing it around back and then up and over your head into the water. That will create an air bubble that will get trapped into the trousers. You pull the waistband nice and tight, and now you have like this life jacket bubble with your trousers. You put it on over your head and then you float for a second. That is inflation method number 1. Inflation method number 2, you kind of hold the trousers by the waistband underneath the water with one hand, and then you take your other hand and you hit the surface of the water, go underneath, and like swoop the air bubble into the trousers. You might have to do that a couple times. Again, close the waistband tight, put it around your neck, and then just float for a second. Method number 3 is similar to method number 2, except you're already going to have the trousers around your head. So you have the trousers around your head, and then you open up the waistband, and again you're kind of swooping the air bubbles into the trousers, hold nice and tight, and float. And then method 4 is oral inflation. So the way you do this is you are blowing out your own air bubbles that are getting trapped into the waistband. So when you're underwater and you're blowing out the air bubbles, they go directly up. So the only way that this is going to work is if you have your waistband directly above your head, you go underwater, and then you blow out, then all those air bubbles will get trapped in that waistband. Hold it tight, put it around your head, and float. So after we finished all of the trouser inflation methods, we went on to put on a life jacket, and we practiced the help and huddle positions. So help is actually an acronym, stands for heat escape lessening position. So basically you are going to use this tactic when you are by yourself in the water to preserve your body heat. So what you're doing is taking your extremities and holding them as close to the center of your body as you can. So you're floating with your life jacket and you're just kind of crossing your arms and then crossing your feet, bringing them close to the center of your body. That will help to prevent heat from escaping your body and allow you to withstand the water for a longer period of time. And then the second position, the huddle position, so that's when there is a group of people with you and you are all going to get in a circle and kind of put your arms around each other, put your legs in the center, and just float. So that was it for day 5. The last thing that we have left is the mile swim on Monday. So I will see you again after I do the mile swim. Guys, we made it. Day 6, Monday. We just finished the mile. We got to sleep in today, so rather than showing up at 7, we had to show up at 9:30, so that was nice. You can hear the Blue Angels, they're practicing. So, got here at 9:30. We had to start a little bit later. I'm just gonna wait for them. So, the way that the mile swim was set up is we used 2 of the pools. There are 2 lanes in each pool. You have to do 36 laps back and forth. There's about 8 to 10 people per lane, which makes it a little hard because if you get bunched up, you're all like kicking each other and punching each other in the face while you're swimming. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I just wasn't really looking forward to it because, not that I was worried it was going to be physically tough, but like mentally, I was just thinking, man, I just don't want to swim that long. But it was actually a lot better than I thought. It went by pretty fast. I finished in like 30 minutes. And basically my game plan was to just swim front crawl for 1 full lap back and forth. So that way I would kind of space myself out from everyone else. And then I would just do breaststroke because it's the most efficient stroke. You know, you can do that for a long duration of time. And then anytime I wanted to pass someone, I would just go back to the front crawl until I passed them. And it worked out really great. Like I said, I finished in about 30 minutes. And I felt like I could keep going. When they told me that I only had 2 laps left, I was kind of like, oh, that went by pretty fast. So yeah, that was the mile swim. Tomorrow is CPR, no more swimming. We are done with swimming. Just got to get CPR certified. And then that is it for water survival. And if you are already Red Cross CPR certified and it's not going to expire within 6 months, then you don't have to go to the water survival CPR session. But it has to be Red Cross. If it's not Red Cross, then you have to show up. Not a big deal. I think he said it's like a few hours long. Classroom learning. Easy peasy. Alright guys, I'm going to go get some breakfast because I'm starving, and I will see you again tomorrow. Last day of water survival. It is day 7, Tuesday. We just did CPR, so I got in at 8 o'clock. It took about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a little past 9:30 right now. The instructor basically just went through like these Red Cross PowerPoints and videos. You review CPR, you know, AED, first aid, all of that good stuff. And then at the end of all of the videos, the instructor asks the class a bunch of like quiz questions, and then you get this cool little card saying that you are CPR certified by the Red Cross. Get it laminated, put it in your wallet. All right, so just a few last minute tips, just kind of encompassing the entire water survival week. So first off, again, if you are not a strong swimmer and you know that, then on the first day of water survival, you should let the instructors know and say that you would like to go to remedial swim. That way you can get all of the extra help you need at becoming efficient at swimming so that you don't have any trouble passing the events. Also, they do hold like open swim hours at the pool on base. I don't know off the top of my head when they are right now, but if you are interested in going to those open swim hours prior to starting water survival, that's also a good idea. I guess, so to speak, get your feet wet and just kind of practice some of the things that you know is going to be expected of you when you show up to water survival. And my third tip is to just get really proficient at the breaststroke. Like I've said before, I wasn't very proficient at it. I didn't like the breaststroke, but that's because I wasn't doing it the right way. But once I tweaked the way that I was doing it, I realized why that is the most preferred stroke, because you can just do it for an infinite amount of time, really, without getting very tired out. And that is why most people decide to do the breaststroke for the mile swim, because they know that they won't get too gassed out doing it, and they know that they can hold that stroke for 40, 50, 60 minutes, however long it takes you to complete the mile swim. And then my final tip is to really learn how to control your heart rate in the pool. I know for most people, swimming in the pool is a different environment than you're used to, but a lot of what you're tested on has to do with how you're going to control your heart rate. If your heart rate gets too fast and you become overwhelmed, like very frantic in the pool, then you're not going to perform well. So it's really like a mind-body connection that you have to make, especially when you're doing the prone float. Just be very mindful and purposeful in your breaths. And that may not make very much sense right now when you're just watching the video, but when you're actually doing it, and like I said, you use that like mind-body connection to use your breaths wisely, control your breathing, then hopefully it will make a lot more sense and it will help you get through all of the evolutions. So this is also going to be my little outro. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope that it has helped you if you're going into water survival for what to expect. Maybe if you know that you need to practice some of this stuff beforehand. I know for me, I just like to know what to expect, which unfortunately in this line of work, that isn't always the case. But like I said, I hope that these videos help in some way, and good luck whenever it is your turn to go to water survival.